Hey there, stargazers. It's an interesting day for space weather indeed. Here at the Smash News Network, least busted name of news, we're super excited about Sunspot 2992. And we see a very diffuse magnetohydrodynamic environment around planet Earth. Check out the low density zone. This shows high density in dark blue and low density in white. We've got a very diffuse solar wind at the moment. That's the last 4 hours. We normally look at the pressure. And there is the pressure over the last 4 hours. You can see it's very low because of that very diffuse but high speed solar wind. So we've got a very low density and a rather high speed from a coronal hole high speed stream. That's the last 4 hours. Here's Earth's magnetic moment from the ground. Since we showed you Earth's magnetic moment from space, here it is from the ground in nanotesla. You can see that equatorial band of magnetism, something we typically see with very low solar wind activity. KP is at 2. Planetary K index is a measurement of global geomagnetism. For all you new viewers, stargazers, etc. out there, the KP index at 2. Looking at the real-time solar wind, we see a very diffuse solar wind. As I said, it's only 1.6 protons per cubic centimeter at the moment, and slightly elevated because of a coronal hole high-speed stream here at 509 kilometers per second. It reached all the way up to 650 plus, sort of at the peak of that coronal hole high-speed stream. It does remain elevated at over 500. So we saw a series of M-class flares from Sunspot 2992, the new giant sunspot region. No relativistic particles have showed up from those. Now let's take a look at the heliospheric current sheet. There may be a south pole current sheet coming through, largely as a result of Sunspot 2992. And we are able to use this data here to get some insight into what we'll see on the GOES magnetometer. So we can expect to see some higher readings on the GOES magnetometer here in the coming day or two. And it all has to do with the ability to read this magnetic data. I've been immersed in the data for over 4 years here, doing these type of videos. So you can take my word on it or not. Either way, you can just come back and check the GOES magnetometers and you'll find that I was correct. Anyway, the magnetic environment can change suddenly with no warning. There are the GOES magnetometer readings over the past 3 days. Here's the line of sight view. And you'll see the current sheet moving a bit here as a result of Sunspot 2992. A giant series of umbrae there that are located north and south of each other. Next, we'll look at coronal holes. And there's our line of sight coronal hole plot. We've got some transequatorial North Pole coronal holes right over here. Let's take a look at that visually using the SDO. There's 211 angstroms. Great view of coronal holes there. And that ionized iron wavelength, also an M-class flare mixed in that yesterday's portion of that video. Quite well-defined coronal holes here rotating past the earthly zone. We can expect a solar wind high-speed stream from those in a couple days. Next, we'll move on to sunspots. So we've got 2989, 2990, 2991, and 2992 is spectacularly gigantic. Both of those umbrae are larger than the planet Earth, significantly larger than the planet Earth. So that is definitely a story to talk about. A massive uptick in solar activity in general, including an increase in the X-ray flux background levels. Did you know that we put up exclusive videos on BitChute? Yeah, bitchute.com/smashamash. Why the views have dropped 80% in the past couple of days, I have no idea. Maybe the pathetic censorship is coming to BitChute now, instead of only on other type of video hosting platforms. Anyway, we're also on Twitch. We already streamed one video today to Twitch, twitch.tv/smashamash. Thanks to our followers over there. Thanks most of all to the Smash team for supporting the content. Consider sending us a couple bucks a month at the silver or gold, or perhaps the gold annual paid-up subscription level. That is the best value. All gold subscription Smash team members get a complimentary @smashamash.com email address if they wish, and the gold annual paid-up subscription level is the best value because you get some complimentary merch thrown in with your membership. So thanks to all of the Smash team members. Welcome to the Neo Renaissance. To all of you non-Smash team members, congratulations on realizing that the channel exists. If you're new here, press like, subscribe, share, etc. Tell your friends and foes about us. Perhaps pick up some merch. Today's featured product is the Forgive, Remember, and Hold Accountable merch. And it's Forgive and Forget is so 2019, so let's hold accountable instead. As you can see here, the X-ray output of the sun has gone into C-class background levels here. So you're seeing this signal here above the C-class range there, as the sun is certainly ahead of schedule by a couple of years in solar cycle 25. It's pretty exciting. And let's take a look at some great wavelengths here to view solar flaring. This is 171 plus 94. We've got some slowed down images of this as well. So let's cut to that next. Actually, first, here's the 131 angstroms. One of the best wavelengths through which to view solar flares. It takes 10 images per minute instead of only 2, along with 94 angstroms. And here it is in 335 angstroms at only 10 frames per second. You're going to see a long duration M-class flare here. So you're going to see a sudden brightening in this ionized iron ultraviolet spectra. Wait for it. There you go. There's a long duration M-class solar flare. So we did see coronal mass ejections. We'll let you know the trajectory of those at the end of the video. Major activity happening as a result of Sunspot 2992. Here's another slowed down wavelength. This is 94 angstroms. There's that long duration M-class flare. DAG. That is a lot of energy showing up as X-ray photons. There you go. There's the full 10 frames per second imagery of it. Just spectacular. And let's continue on here. Here's a 30 frames per second series of images in 171 plus 94. DAG. That is a rowdy pair of umbrae there. Next, we've brought up a star chart as we do daily for all of you stargazers. If you're up before dawn, you may see Jupiter, Venus, Mars, and Saturn all rising ahead of the sun. Shout out to all my reverse werewolves. We're about to be at another full moon, I believe. I think a full moon is tomorrow. Here's your solar system forecast. We'll advance this 1 week. Tomorrow's the full moon. It's an Easter full moon, and in 1 week we will have a gibbous waning. That's where things will be in a week. Let's go to the coronagraphs to close things out. We're looking at the coronagraphs of stereo A at Lagrange point 5. That's this left image, and the right image is at Lagrange point 1. That's the Soho-Lascaux C3. So there is a coronal mass ejection there. It is on the far side of the sun, not the Earth side. And there you can see it. Another spectacular far side coronal mass ejection. It may look like a halo from the Soho-Lascaux C3's perspective. It is moving away from the Earth, not toward it. So we expect no geo effects of that at all. And it's about time to close out this video. Thanks for tuning in. Congratulations on realizing the channel exists. Did you know that sometimes we have trouble finding our own videos? Anyway, may that solar wind be at your back as I sign off from the Smash News Network least busted name in news.